Porterville College takes very seriously its responsibility to ensure staff and students are prepared for campus emergencies. Part 1 of today's campus safety presentation will provide a quick review of the 4 initial actions and the 3 armed intruder actions. Part 2 of our presentation will offer a detailed look at shelter-in-place and lockdown. For most emergencies, the first response by staff and students to the event should be to immediately take one of the 4 initial actions. The 4 initial actions are duck and cover, shelter in place, lockdown, and evacuate building. The 4 initial actions form the foundation of a successful response to a campus emergency. How well staff and students take these actions with or without direction can be critical to the outcome of the emergency. The Porterville College Safety Team has placed initial actions informational posters in offices, classrooms, restrooms, and other locations throughout campus. To become better prepared for campus emergencies, please use these posters to review and learn the basic initial actions. You will have opportunities to practice these initial actions during upcoming campus emergency drills. Incidents involving armed intruders, including active shooters, may present situations that require more than just the initial actions. The action you should take will depend on how close you are to the armed intruder or active shooter event. If you are in a different building on campus, for example, the duck and cover and/or lockdown initial actions will apply and should be used. However, if you are face-to-face with an intruder or shooter, you must be prepared to take one of the 3 armed intruder actions. The armed intruder actions are run, hide, or fight. These actions apply to any situation where you face an armed intruder, regardless of whether the person is shooting a gun or wielding a dangerous weapon. Like the initial actions posters, armed intruder actions posters are displayed in numerous locations throughout the campus. We again ask that you use these posters to review and learn the 3 armed intruder actions, so you'll be prepared to react quickly to these kinds of situations if they occur. Knowing these actions may save your life and the lives of others. In addition to the posters, a series of presentations have been developed by the Porterville College Safety Office to help you learn about the initial actions and armed intruder actions. Each presentation provides a brief review of the initial actions and armed intruder actions, followed by a focused look at one of the actions. You can expect to see one presentation each month during the semester, as well as to participate in one related campus-wide emergency drill each month. Our focus topics for today are shelter in place and lockdown. For shelter in place, the goal is to keep everyone indoors to protect from severe weather, contaminated air, or other outside environmental threats. Key actions. If you're not already inside, students and staff will proceed to the nearest classroom, office, or other building. Staff and students will remain indoors until the all clear or further instructions are received from administration or emergency personnel. Close the doors and windows and shut down the building, heating, cooling systems, if outside air is contaminated. Unlike lockdown, doors do not need to be locked and you may move about freely as long as you stay inside. In lockdown, the goal is to protect students and staff from threat of violence on or near campus and prevent intruders from entering occupied areas. Key actions. If you're outside, staff and students will proceed to the nearest classroom or building. If inside, staff will lock the doors, turn off the lights, and close any shades or blinds if it's safe to do so. If a door cannot be locked, use furniture to barricade the door. If there's gunfire, everyone will crouch on the floor. Staff and students will remain secured pending further instructions or an all clear from administration or police. Knowing the difference between shelter in place and lockdown is very important. You can know those differences and use proper procedure. Lockdown protects staff and students from a human threat. Buildings are secured and everyone hides to avoid detection. Shelter in place protects from an environmental threat. Buildings do not need to be locked. Students and staff may move about but must remain indoors. Remember, if the threat is from contaminated outside air, it is imperative to keep that air out of the building. Doors and windows must be kept closed, and heating and cooling systems must be shut down. Practice makes perfect, and Porterville College is committed to preparing staff and students to respond appropriately to campus emergencies. To help meet this goal, we will schedule and conduct a variety of emergency drills each semester. These emergency drills will allow us to evaluate our emergency procedures, assess our emergency preparedness, test alarm and communication systems, and practice and improve our overall emergency response plan under simulated conditions. Please help us become better prepared for emergencies by actively participating in future campus training and drills. Your support is truly appreciated. This concludes today's presentation. Thanks for joining us.